in the middle of the vast ocean, where only the wind and the sky are companions. Fishing boats still quietly go out to sea every day. Behind the fresh catches of fish are countless drops of sweat, hardships and even dangers that few people see. In today's video, we will follow the fishermen from the time they cast their nets, harvest until they return to the boat. At the same time, we will reveal dramatic moments when the authorities check and handle violations right at sea. Under the blazing sun in the middle of the ocean, the auxiliary ship separated from the main ship, dragging a heavy net head, and began its journey to capture. Each roll of net was lowered into the water in a steady rhythm, coordinated with hundreds of bright yellow buoys. This was the first step in the process of seine fishing, requiring absolute precision in timing, position, and speed. The giant net is closed into a circle, marking an important moment in the fishing process. The yellow buoys stand out on the water like a wall enclosing the school of fish inside. At this time, the fishermen begin to narrow the mouth of the net, gradually tightening it to gather the fish to one point. The water surface begins to move violently, indicating that a large school of fish is caught in the net. The results of many hours of searching and deployment are gradually becoming clear. On deck, the atmosphere was more tense than ever. Under the harsh midday sun, groups of fishermen wearing hard hats were straining to pull heavy nets up from the sea. The net was no longer just a rope, it was the result of a journey. Each pull was heavy, not only because of the weight of the fish, but also because of the expectations of the entire trip. The heavy nets are now transformed into large fish buckets, hoisted up by a system of specialized machinery. Under the bright sunlight, each batch of silvery fish is lifted from the net, swinging in the air before slowly falling into the cold storage below deck. The sound of fish hitting the metal walls echoes, blending with the sound of machinery and waves, creating the characteristic sound of a successful fishing trip. Inside the hold, as soon as the fish are unloaded, the sorting and cooling process begins immediately. The fishermen, without a break, continue working on the line. Each person is highly focused, wearing gloves, wearing protective helmets, coordinating rhythmically like a living machine. Sacks of ice are piled all around, ready to preserve the fish to keep it fresh when the ship docks. The nets were spread out, stretching out under the clear blue sea. The bright yellow buoys formed a vast arc like a giant arm embracing the entire ocean. The wind was strong, the waves were crashing, but the boat remained on course, waiting for the right moment to start tightening the net. The netting phase was complete, and from here, all hope rested on the patience and experience of the fishermen. Today's catch, win or lose, all began from this moment. It was dusk, the weak light from the ship's lights shining on the cold wet deck, but the work did not stop. Fishermen wearing life jackets and hard hats stood in the middle of the slippery deck, continuing to pull in the last few nets. The buoys, the ropes, the winches, and the sound of the waves all came together, creating a tense, but also very professional scene. In the dark of night, the last spans of net, wet, heavy and tinged with orange, were pulled up onto the deck. Under the pale yellow light, streams of fresh fish flowed from the net into the holding tank like a living stream. The sea is no longer calm, but has become fierce and hurried. The ship sways between high waves, but the sailors still hold the steering wheel firmly, steadfastly heading towards the mainland. In the midst of harsh nature, the hearts of seafarers remain unshaken, because more than anyone, they understand overcoming big waves can bring fish back, and bring life to many families waiting. In the middle of the dark night, when the whole world is still sleeping, on a ship in the middle of the vast ocean, fishermen are still struggling with each fierce wave. Each wave crashes into the deck as if wanting to drown everything, but the men in raincoats soaked with seawater still hold on, maintain their position, check the winches, protect each fish compartment. There is no retreat here, only the courage, will and steel spirit of those who consider the sea their home. Amidst the clear blue water and waves crashing against the side of the boat, the group of fishermen are using all their strength to pull a large fish onto the deck. The long hook, the calloused hands, each resolute shout resounds. Everyone pulls together, keeps the rhythm, no one stands aside. The fish struggles fiercely, like a final battle between survival and livelihood. But in the end, with determination and experience, they have brought the precious prey onto the boat. The fish struggled violently, its white body shimmering in the waves, but the fishermen did not retreat. The whole group clasped hands, leaned over to exert strength, and little by little pulled the tens of kilogram fish up from the sea surface. On the deep blue sea, the modern boat is slowly pulling long, colorful nets. The nets are rolled out in a precise rhythm, combined with auxiliary equipment behind to create a synchronized and efficient fishing process. Technology has changed the way we go to sea, but the spirit of the seafarer remains intact, persistent, silent, and determined in the vastness of the waves. Thank you for following our journey today. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos. See you again.